Monday Night Football time. This is a big one, and this is going to be a fun one. You've got the Herbert injury, lots to kind of monitor here, but Eagles, Chargers, you kind of take me here. Like, what are you seeing in this game? And then I'll give you some trends and picks.
Yeah, I'm not sure it'll be a fun one. It'll be a close one. I'm not sure it's going to be a fun watch. We've seen some Eagles primetime games, and I'm going to go that direction. I think this is an under. I'm going to take the under 42.5. So you mentioned Justin Herbert coming off a left-hand surgery. We don't really know what that looks like. I think it probably means more shotgun, probably means a little more run game. It looks like Omarion Hampton should be back, so that probably helps. Jalen Carter is out, so that gives them a bit of a shot. But Chargers offensive line is in rough shape right now, where there's some really bad offensive lines out there, but they're among the worst. Eagles pass rush has been really good. Even without Carter, I think that's a big problem. Chargers offense has been fading quickly. This is the sort of game that if there's anything Eagles in them, they should be able to run on this team. That's what the Chargers are built to be run on. That's the defense. But the Eagles haven't really been doing that. They're not really themselves. So I would lean Eagles in this game, but I have it pretty close to a coin flip. So I'm not playing a side. If you like the Eagles, I think the better angle is Chargers to miss the playoffs. Plus 164 I see right now. They go at Chiefs, at Cowboys, Texans, at Broncos to close. That is a brutal closing stretch. At Chiefs is Chiefs on life support at this point, which like every Chiefs game is on life support, but that is a desperate team. Then at Cowboys, same thing. You have two teams that are basically like, if we lose, we're out for the year. So you have two teams that are better, I think, than the Chargers at home playing them. Then you have the Texans, we talked about a lot. And then at Denver, who might need to get that win to make the 1 seed. So kind of playing around with the numbers. I see if you think the Eagles beat the Chargers here, I think it's a good setup to fade the Chargers down the stretch here. I don't trust the Eagles to score a lot either. I don't trust either team to give us great-looking football. Chargers' defense is 4th in success rate on the season. The Eagles' success rate has not been good. So they just are not going to be able to move the ball successfully play by play. They're not going to be able to get the ball down deep. The Chargers are number 1 versus the deep ball. That's where the Eagles are able to get some things. Primetime unders, we know, continue to be a thing. Outside of Thursday, 61% to the under since 2019. And Jim Harbaugh, when the total is below 44, 57% to the under. Since the bye week for the Eagles, here are their totals. 17, not them, the whole game, 23, 45, and 39. So under this number, 3 out of the 4, average 31 points a game. This is ugly football. That's what I think we get. Give me the under 42.5 at DraftKings. And I quite like this one. This would have been my best bet in our episode. I just saved it for the Monday night. And then a little extra pick. And I'm looking in our comments here. Crazy Shorts, 13-938 called this one. Give me a Dallas Goedert touchdown. The Chargers are dead last DVOA against the tight end. They've not faced a lot of tight ends, but here's who they've faced. Kelsey, Bowers, Waller, Warren, and Bowers again. Those 5 dudes have 5 touchdowns in their games. So they've at least 1 touchdown in 4 of the 5. Goddard, career high 7 touchdowns, at least 1 in almost half his games. Plus 340 for Goddard touchdown. And it didn't work today, but we tried this with Quinshon Judkins. Goddard touchdown with the under is just about 10-1 odds. So I like that as a little escalator as well.
You got to get out of my head. You and I seem to now kind of think the same way because I just pulled up DraftKings to try to just get some odds on some things. I'll start off with just a stat or two, and then I'll give you my picks. But I feel like it's kind of interesting. So I think we all assume that Herbert's going to start. But it was actually interesting to me to look at Jim Harbaugh's career. You know, he's only had 3 quarterbacks in the NFL, Herbert, Kaepernick, and Alex Smith. That's it. So this would have been a very interesting change to have to go to a backup. He's only gone to a backup once. It's when he went from Alex Smith to Colin Kaepernick. And then that was it. So it would have been interesting to see Trey Lance. I don't think it's going to happen. I mean, there's a chance Herbert gets hurt again and maybe something changes in a week. But at the moment, I think we're going to see Herbert with a huge cast on his non-throwing arm, and we're going to go from there. The other interesting thing is this. Least profitable coaches against the spread coming off a loss since 2021. Brian Callahan, 70th and last, 3-14. Matt Rule, 3-11, 69th. 68th on that list, Nick Sirianni, 8-15 against the spread. So coming off a loss, it's not the Lions. It's not, okay, off a loss, let's keep rolling. it's the Philly locker room. So at the moment, I don't exactly know what we're going to get, but that number scares me a tad. So here's the bets I like. I took Herbert under 20.5 rushing yards. I've seen the last 2 or 3 games. He scrambles about 2 or 3 times each game. But aside from that, I think the injury is going to keep him from doing that. I think 20.5 is just a little long because I think that's usually about what his rushing yards are. So I see the line kind of moving down. I took the under 20.5. And then for the fun parlay, I'm with you on Goddard. All the stuff about the Chargers versus tight ends. Plus, he's got the tush-push AJ Barner thing going on where lots of different ways for Goddard to get in the end zone. And then just because I like to have fun, I'm mixing him with Keenan Allen. So the parlay is Goddard and Keenan. It's 17-1 with the two of them together. If you add just an alt, like let's say you add under 45.5, let's go over a few key numbers. That 17-1 goes to 47-1. And that to me is an interesting play. I still like the under. I like it over a few key numbers, and I'm getting my touchdowns with it. Listen, if you're going to get to 40 points, and this is kind of our point with the Browns game, if you're going to get to that many points, you got to score some touchdowns. If I can accurately predict who those are, 47-1, not bad.
Yeah, have a little fun and throw a parlay in, and we gotta have some way to enjoy Monday night. I think it will be a close game and an interesting game, just maybe not a fun game unless you have look. My aesthetic is 39-35 or whatever in the snow. Like I'd like to see. I'd be honestly pretty happy if if both these teams together get to 39. I'll feel pretty good about my Monday night if we get there, but hopefully not much more so we can hit our under.
Yeah, a fun game to handicap, maybe not the most fun to watch. But again, if you want to tail some of these Monday Night Football bets, make sure to look for the quick slip link in the podcast and video description, or go to actionnetwork.com/bet now. That's my favorite way to do it. All the bets listed there. Just click, take it to your sports book. Beautiful.